hiring office on Station Kepler 442 smelled of recycled air and desperation. Oliver Chen sat behind his desk, reviewing the day's final applicant with tired eyes. As the human resources director for TerraCore Mining, he'd seen hundreds of desperate faces this month alone. The sovereignty's latest trade embargo had left the outer station struggling, and everyone needed work. The door slid open, and she entered. She was Velhorian. That much was obvious from her silvery skin and the 3 delicate ridges that ran across her forehead. Her clothes were worn but clean, patched in several places with mismatched fabric. She carried herself with the kind of dignity that only comes from refusing to surrender to circumstance. Anna Velshara, Oliver read from his datapad, pronouncing the name carefully. You're applying for the equipment maintenance position. Yes, sir. Her voice was soft but steady. She remained standing, her hands clasped in front of her. I have experience with fusion regulators and atmospheric processors. I worked at the refinery on Velhor before. She stopped, and Oliver knew why. Before the bombing. Before her homeworld became a war zone. He glanced at her file. Single mother. 2 children. No formal education certificates, but that didn't mean much these days. War-scattered records like dust. Your references are limited, Oliver said, not unkindly. Anna's composure cracked slightly. Sir, I'm a fast learner. Whatever you need, I can do it. I'll work double shifts. I'll take half pay for the first month. Her voice grew quieter. I have children. 7 and 4. They're in the shelter on level 9, and the rations there are... She stopped herself, drawing in a breath. Oliver had heard this story before, in 100 different variations. The station's shelters were overcrowded, underfunded, designed for temporary emergencies, not the permanent refugee crisis they'd become. Then Anna did something that made Oliver's heart sink. She stepped closer to his desk, her silver eyes meeting his. Sir? She said, and her voice carried a weight that made him want to look away. If you hire me, on my first day of work, I'll sleep with you. The silence that followed felt like vacuum pressure. Oliver set down his datapad very carefully. This wasn't the first time someone had made such an offer. Desperation did terrible things to people. But it never got easier to hear. Ms. Velshara, he said slowly. Please sit down. She remained standing, her jaw set. I'm serious, sir. I'll do whatever you require. I just need this job. My children need... Sit down. Oliver's voice was firm but not harsh. Anna sank into the chair, confusion flickering across her face. Oliver leaned back, studying her. Let me tell you something about humans, Miss Velshara. We have a saying, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Do you know where that comes from? She shook her head mutely. Old Earth. Ancient history. Before we left our homeworld, before we knew there were others out here among the stars. He pulled up something on his datapad. Humans learned something important over our long, bloody history. We learned that when you exploit the desperate, when you take advantage of those who have nothing left to lose, you don't just hurt them, you damage yourself. You damage your whole society. Anna's hands trembled in her lap. I don't understand. You're refusing? I'm refusing your offer, yes, but I'm not refusing you the job. Oliver pulled up her work file, making notes. You're overqualified, if anything. 3 years maintaining fusion systems. We'd be lucky to have you. The position pays standard rate, no half-pay trial periods. Full benefits kick in after 30 days, which includes housing allocation. He looked up at her shocked expression. Housing allocation means you and your children can move out of the shelter. Station provides level 5 apartments for essential workers. 2 bedrooms. Not fancy, but clean and safe. Tears were streaming down Anna's face now, leaving silver trails on her cheeks. Why? Oliver smiled, and it was genuine. Because you're qualified. Because we need good maintenance workers. And because... He paused, choosing his words carefully. Because humans spent a long time learning that the measure of a civilization isn't how it treats the powerful. It's how it treats those who have no power at all. Anna was openly crying now, her shoulders shaking. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you, thank you. You start Monday, Oliver continued, pulling up the orientation schedule. 700 hours. And Ms. Velshara, when you get your first paycheck, there's a school on level 7. It's not free, but there are scholarships for refugees. Your oldest would qualify. She looked at him like he'd hung the stars themselves. A school? Education matters, Oliver said simply. For everyone. We humans learned that too eventually. He stood, extending his hand. Welcome to Terracore Mining, Ms. Velshara. Anna rose on unsteady legs and took his hand. Her grip was strong despite her tears. I won't let you down, sir. I know you won't. Oliver smiled. And please call me Oliver. We're going to be colleagues now. As Anna left his office, walking taller than when she'd entered, Oliver returned to his desk. His datapad showed 17 more applications still to review. 17 more desperate stories. 17 more chances to prove that humanity had learned something worth knowing. Outside his window, the stars wheeled in their eternal dance. Somewhere out there, wars raged and empires rose and fell. But here on this small station at the edge of known space, one human had made a choice, and that choice, multiplied by millions across human space, was why the other species had begun to understand something about these strange primates from Earth. They weren't the strongest race, or the smartest, or the longest lived, but they remembered their own dark times. They remembered what it meant to be desperate. And when they had power, more often than not, they chose mercy. That was the true meaning of humanity, Faya.